I'm not surprised that I shocked somebody tonight. It's kind of my thing.
I want to know more. I have follow-ups.
Does everyone have their cocktail with them? We're going to find out what happens when people stop being polite and start getting curious. So, welcome. In times of civil unrest, political upheaval, and a pandemic, how are you thinking about stories like our roller skating story?
There was just this like silliness and kind of unbridled joy.
Apparently, you can make anything look super fly if you really believe in yourself.
The story and the folks involved in the story reminded me that joy is a verb. It's not something that we have, but it's something that we do.
Especially in COVID, like longing for this connection to people in general, but like particularly to Black joy.
I'm going to reference a Crosscut article where they basically say like Black joy is sacred because it's earned. There's suffering behind, being Black in America. And so what joy is it's a place of resistance. To have a space that's your own, that isn't, the systems and isn't like some powerful being over, seeing you.
I was wondering if anyone else would like to chime in on that idea of joy as resistance.
I definitely agree with that, and I find pride in that. But then on the other hand, I've started to feel a little aggravated by the framing of Black joy always in relationship to an oppressor. Sometimes it's nice that Black joy is just Black joy and it's not a reaction to something else.
I'm reclaiming my joy in that I bought a pair of some roller skates. I ain't unpacked them yet, but I'm gonna get out there, even in the rain.
So we got an email from a woman who said, why would you publish this story? You're taking up space when the space should be reserved for survivors. Our thinking was that by sharing this voice, that we can sort of share the burden of how some people are reckoning with the Me Too movement and how some people are trying to be better without putting all of that responsibility on survivors to tell the story.
Maybe I just have a really low expectations for men, but I found it pretty surprising and, pretty evolved that he would, go to the lengths that he did to try to improve himself.
Okay. Are they truly doing this, or is this for public consumption?
What he shared is someone who showed that they were committed to trying to improve themselves.
You talked about being Latino. I know what machismo is. It's a thing.
I do think that race and ethnicity matters, and not being able to find mental health counselors who look like you, who've been through experiences like you, grappling with like what's consent and what have I been taught about, like you need to try again, you need to try again, you need to try again.
I was raised by people who were born in a pre-modern world. My mother just repeated all this misogynist crap all my life, and just got to be really burdensome.
This piece just screamed how detrimental the patriarchy is.
You think you know your neighbors, and then to feel so out of touch, I guess. I have no insight into why would they support Trump.
I have a good friend who is Vietnamese and owns a store in the International District. Doesn't like walking to her car. She feels unsafe. It wouldn't surprise me if there were some people in that community who said, what's going on around me, I really don't like. And I want to make a statement about that.
If the key is gaining the minority vote, you need to really start to understand the differences.
Liberals sometimes think they know more than your own experience, seeing cultures and ethnic groups as monolithic.
Those who might come from families that had to flee communist countries don't want anything to do with socialism. And when it's just like Asians, Hispanics, and that's it, I view it as liberal racism. Cubans have been Republican since the 60s.
I actually feel at a place that I do need to open myself up more, and I have to like have more of those conversations with now people that I love and, you know, those that I don't as well. So, yeah.
Yes, be friends with Trump voters. How are you going to change hearts and minds if you don't befriend them?
I think that it's exhausting trying to make sense out of crazy.
Our lives are legitimately at risk.
It's really interesting to get together with a group of people who have a variety of viewpoints and hear the perception that the other side is aggressive and winning when the other side thinks the same thing about the other side.
We're all in this country together, bottom line. So the better that we can make it together, that's what I'm going for. I see your faces.